I think there are a lot of people that feel that Justin will be a significantly better player in a different environment if that's the direction it goes.
Yeah.
Look, I would never suggest that is an outrageous statement. He may find it, different players find a better home elsewhere sometimes. Again, I thought you laid it out perfect when you described it, and what you described was cleaner play. Fewer turnovers, fewer taken sacks that are a direct result of how you play the position in the pocket, not your left tackle getting absolutely bulldozed back into your lap. That's not a you problem, that's a him problem. But a cleaner performance. And I thought the one thing that you said that resonates most with me as well is step up your game in the fourth quarter. If you are going to be a true difference maker in this league, regardless of your position, we need to see your best in crunch time. And I think it's something that we've talked about in the past. And whether it was Dan Weeder or I think in the past wrote an article, I think Courtney's done some really good research on this. I asked Tyler at the break, I said, listen, can you, with using your suggestion that he needs to be better in the fourth quarter when it's time to win games and you're learning to win games, I asked Tyler in his career, can you give me his career stats in the fourth quarter? And again, I will use this as my disclaimer. I never blame everything completely on him, nor do I blame everything on the offensive coordinator or the lack of talent around him. I've been a huge proponent or believer, just me, that this has been a shared culpability issue, that nobody has done their job well enough. So that when the offensive coordinator may dial some stuff up nicely, the quarterback isn't feeling the pocket correctly or working the pocket correctly. And sometimes when the quarterback's in a rhythm, maybe the coordinator doesn't call the right plays. Maybe a receiver drops a pass. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
At the end of the day, these guys have all taken turns making mistakes, which has led to them being a very mediocre crew, to be generous. So in the fourth quarter in his career, Justin has a 57% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, a quarterback rating of 64.5. He's been sacked 27 times in that stretch.
Is that in his entire career?
I believe, Tyler, is this for his entire career?
Those are his entire career numbers.
Like some people think that when you bring stuff up that you're being too critical. Like people are criticizing Trevor Lawrence in his play recently. People are talking about Josh Allen.
It's fair.
And like Josh Allen needs to get better. Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
He has a turnover problem right now.
He has to get better.
Yes.
Josh Allen has to be better. So for somebody who's trying to get that second contract, someone who's trying to get the general manager who did not draft him to believe in him, to pick up a 5th-year option and get the next contract, and to pass drafting a quarterback with the #1 overall pick and arguably the best quarterback draft since 2000, whatever it was, whatever the last that great quarterback draft was. Why is it unfair to ask for more?
It's not. The simple answer is it's not. Anybody that tells you it is they've got a dog in the hunt, which is fine.
We all have a dog in the hunt.
Well, yes,
we're Bears fans. Right. We all have a that's what drives me crazy.
We have a bear in the hunt.
We have a bear in the hunt.
Yes. But again, whether you're being evaluated by the Chicago Bears or you're being evaluated by the New England Patriots, regardless of who's evaluating you, these numbers are significant to them. They want to know why. I see the explosive plays. I see the upside. Have I seen enough of it? Have I seen enough good consistently? And then they want to know, why do we have 115 sacks taken, 27 interceptions, 9 fumbles, and the numbers in the fourth quarter are pretty depressing. Now, again, if you're being fair, the answer is he hasn't been surrounded with a lot of talent. Maybe he has been in a precarious situation with regard to play calling at time. And he also has made some significant mistakes himself. And you put it all together, and it's the reason why this team has 6 wins in the last 2 years. And the only signature win they have is the San Francisco 49ers in week 1 of last year that was played in a monsoon. You show me another signature win for this team and for him.
Yeah.
Like you got this is why I'm saying,
yeah.
Go to Detroit. Beat the Lions, who are leading your division in their building where they are even more explosive than they are on the road. Outplay their quarterback or find a way to win. And as a coach, put in a great game plan. Go toe-to-toe with Ben Johnson, and your scheme and your players go out there and outplay his scheme and his players. That's how you get people to change their minds. If you go to Detroit and they get their doors blown off, or not even to get their doors blown off, if they get beat 30-17, but it's all Lions. You know what I mean? Maybe the Bears score a late touchdown to even cut it from 37 to 30 and 30 to 14 or 30 to 17. We're going to be right back into, wringing hands and gnashing teeth. If they go up there
and compete
or beat them, as the good kid has predicted, now we're having a different conversation on Monday. This is the simple, the simple concept that I talk about all the time. You want us to talk differently about you, force us to talk differently about you. Change the narrative by your play, by your coaching. You can't go up there and commit 5 turnovers and 8 or 9 penalties. You have to be clean. You have to be cleaner than a team that is actually more talented than you.
Yep.
So the quarterback, the coaching staff, the offensive coordinator, the play calling, they're going to have their offensive line intact. You got Braxton Jones. You've got Tevin Jenkins at left guard. You've got
Nate Davis.
You got Nate Davis at right guard. You've got Darnell Wright at right tackle.
Right.
You got Lucas Patrick at center.
I don't talk about the center. Ignore the center.
Well, I get it.
He's a
I get it,
ghost.
but at the very least, you're probably going to have...
You got 4 of your 5 guys.
That's fine, but the reason why Cody Whitehair's not taking over at center again is because the simple art of getting the ball back to the quarterback was too hard for them.
Right.
Now, Cody's a better guard than he is a center, but you can't afford to put Justin back there any longer and him have to worry about a snap.
Right. Snap gymnastics.
Correct.
So Justin should not have to perform
guys,
that. It's hard enough.
This is an opportunity for all of you. Go to Detroit and change the way everyone feels about you.
Of course.
Again, I'm not trying to paint you a picture that he has been dealt a bad hand in a lot of different ways. But again, what do the really good players do? They succeed even in the face of adversity. I'm not telling you that he needs to look like Patrick Mahomes, but he can't look the way he has, even if the situation is an adverse situation. He's got to be better. He's got to play better. He's got to play cleaner. Some of the mistakes are on him. How many times have we said that a lot of times the sacks are a direct result of him not moving in the pocket correctly
and he holds onto the ball.
He got hurt because of that.
Look, I'm interested in seeing the sack numbers. Again, Bajan was sacked 4 times. Was that all because of the way they protected Bajan, or was that a lot because he gets 1, 2, 3, 4 out? 1, 2, you know what I mean? 1, 2, 3 out. He's not. Justin's better. Justin's a better quarterback,
of course,
but Tyson Bagent gets the ball out quicker. And will Justin realize that, or will we hear Thayer yell, "Throw it"?
Well, this is where I'm saying, like, as you documented when we started the show, is like you've got to be sacked less. You've got to have fewer mistakes. You got to turn it over fewer times. Like, these are all things that he can control to a certain degree.
It's what drives me crazy because he's got all the gifts. He's got the arm. He's got the athleticism. He's got the smarts. But the processing in real time on game day is it's not where it should be.
It's got to be cleaner. You got to play a cleaner game.
Scott and Carol Stream, you're on ESPN 1000. What's up, Scott?
How you guys doing?
We're good.
Good. So my thing is, I'll start off with, I'm an Ohio State fan. Insert joke there. But so I would love to see Justin succeed, but I think, Tommy, I think you just said it right. If the talent is there, the talent would show up. And you had the 3 to 4 years, you had the different coaches, different offensive coordinators, that's fine. But I think if the talent's there, he's going to show up and play, and it just hasn't yet. So let him go. Don't get him to the extension. Don't get the 5th-year option. Let him go. Reset. The receivers haven't been there. The offensive line hasn't been there. But at that point, let him go. I just don't think it's going to show up because if the talent was there, even with the lack of receivers or offensive line, he would make something happen. And it just hasn't showed up yet.
Look, there's no rush. There's no rush to do anything right now. He's your starting quarterback. He plays the next 7 games. I hope he stays healthy and has an opportunity to show you what he can do with the full complement of throws, and his thumb isn't bothering him. That's my hope for him. There's no rush. You don't have to make a decision right now. Like, this is what this year was all about. I said to you when I put my 10 most important Bears list together, the most important concept again this year was the play of the quarterback and them having to make that decision for the long term as to whether or not he's your answer. That, to me, was the most important issue facing this team.
I just want everyone to, again, fairly even if you're the biggest Justin fan, watch him the way you watch Caleb Williams. Watch him the way you watch Drake May. Watch him the way you watch Tyson Bagent. You do it fairly. And like someone said in the Twitch chat, and I was going to bring this out too, and I mentioned this yesterday. Pringle24 says Texans have less talent than the Bears.
Yeah.
I mentioned this to you yesterday. The Texans, towards the end of the year, and they only won 3 games overall, I think. They were 1-12-1 at one point. Their cupboard was not full. They hired DeMeco Ryans, first-time head coach, defensive guy. They hired Bobby Slowick Jr.
From San Francisco.
Never called a play. It was with Ryans there in San Francisco. And they don't have a lot of name guys there.
There's one guy that you would say is head and shoulders in their offensive huddle above ours, and that's Laramie Tunsil, their left tackle.
And this year he was out, I think, an excessive amount of games, and they played a bunch of combos. If Fields was there, would we all be cursing out Bobby Slowick and DeMeco Ryans the same way? And is it Stroud who's elevating everybody, or does he really have it much better with the Texans? You know what I'm saying? Like this, the Texans were a joke. David Culley was their joke 2 years ago. Lovey was a stopgap for 1 year. And they had a joke of a president. Their owner has been made fun of. Guys who have been famous players there have left the organization because they were run out away. And they went out and they drafted a quarterback, number 2, who, by the way, they didn't want. They wanted the other one. They wanted Bryce Young. They brought him in, and they're 5-4. Now, is that because of the surroundings, or is that because the quarterback has elevated everyone with him?